Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about soil mechanics chapter 1 Introduction. The term soil mechanics is coined by Carl Terzaghi in 1925, and according to him this under this quotes, this is the definition of soil mechanics. So basically what it says is soil, it is actually uh, it is a what to tell, solids and water or liquid particles flowing through it is there in soil. So actually that is a combination of mechanics and hydraulics. So soil mechanics is an application of laws of mechanics and hydraulics. So, because soil is between this liquid or fluid and that is water and solid particles, so the combined effect or application of the mechanics and hydraulics occur in soil mechanics. So, what is basically soil? That is given here. It is an unconsolidated accumulation of solid particles. And how is it formed? It is produced by mechanical and chemical disintegration of rocks. So the big definition, it deals with what is soil mechanics. This is what is soil mechanics. And what is soil? That is unconsolidated accumulation of solid particles. And how is it formed? Origin of soil. That is by mechanical and chemical disintegration of rocks. So this big definition is regarding this much things. What is soil mechanics? What is soil? How is it formed? So now let's study this one. Soil mechanics is the application of laws of mechanics and hydraulics to engineering problems dealing with sediments and other unconsolidated accumulation of solid particles produced by the mechanical and chemical disintegration of rock, regardless of whether or not they contain an admixture of organic constituents. Okay, that is soil mechanics. Now, so what is soil? Is a naturally occurring unconsolidated earth material present above the bedrock. This is the bedrock here. Above that, what is present? That is soil. And at the ground surface, the layer of soil present that is called topsoil. According to soil engineering, this is the definition. Now, origin of soil. We know that soil is formed by weathering of rocks. Weathering can occur in two ways, that is physical and chemical ways. Physical weathering or mechanical disintegration or and the next one is chemical decomposition. Here, this is the geological cycle of formation of soil. First, in the rock, there is an erosion happening in the rock, and that eroded soil particles that is transported by agents like water, air, that is wind, ice, and gravity, and it is deposited. This deposited a huge deposition occur as an upheaval, and the same process then the same process repeats, that is again erosion from this upheaved part, then transportation that happens. So this is the geological cycle. Now, what are the we have known that there are two types of weathering, that is physical and chemical weathering. So the first one is physical or mechanical disintegration. This occurs by abrasion, temperature change, etc. So by abrasion and all, when the particle, when the rock is disintegrating, that time there is no chemical change occurring. So the properties is same as that of the parent rock. Example of this is coarse grained soils like gravel and sand. Then the next one is chemical decomposition. Here the chemical change occurs, thereby the properties will be different from the parent rock. Clay soil is an example of this. Here the chemical process like hydration, carbonation, hydrolysis, etc. take place. Then the next one is transportation of soil. We know that from the rock there is transportation occurring. So that is through water, wind, ice, and gravity. So the major part is taken by, or major role is taken by water. Water is the major element which is transporting the soil. So the water transported by this soil, water transported soil, that is known as alluvial soil or alluvial deposits. So here, this is the original ground. See here, there is erosion occurring, and according to the size of particle, the water will deposit it in order as sand, silt, clay, and the water will finally join as still water. This still water can be lake or ocean or sea. So if it is a lake, then the deposit is known as lacustrine deposits, and if it's an ocean or sea, then the deposit is known as marine deposits. Then the next one is wind. Here we know that in Rajasthan, not all sand dunes are present, right? This is the deposition of sand particles, and here wind deposit the general term for soil deposited by wind, that is known, named as island deposits. And if it's sand, then that will be like sand dunes, and if it's silt, then it will be termed as loess. Here, this is a picture of loess deposit. Here, it is like highly compressible, and if water is poured through this, it is highly permeable in vertical direction, and it is very fine particle. They are having very low density. That is regarding wind deposit, which is also known as island deposits. Then the next one is glacier or ice deposits. When the general term for the deposits is known as drift, and if the deposit is made by the melting glaciers, the melting glaciers now, that is like water particle. When the ice melt and form that liquid particle, then that will deposit directly the soil. That is known as till. Okay, that is deposit directly made by melting of glaciers are called till. So here this is a till in this picture. See, the speciality with the till is that here all size of particles are present. That is known as well graded soil. That is, see, the big cobble particles are present and the small fine particles are also present. So what is there? The big particles, in the interstices of the big particles, we will have small sized particles, so that this will be like well graded. So well graded means it is having high dry density and high shear strength. So that is regarding till. Then the next one is gravity. Gravity, we know that in the slopes and all, from the rock, small boulders and all fall off because of the gravity effect. So gravity, basically they are irregular and coarse grained particles falling down. Example of this is thallus. And now we'll discuss about major soil deposits in India. This is the map of India, and we will find many soil deposits here. The first one is alluvial deposits. Alluvial deposits, actually, that is by water, transported by water. So here we will find, here in the North India, there is an alluvial deposit. See here, so the alluvial deposits is mainly in the northern India. And the desert soil, the next one is desert soil. That is mainly in the Rajasthan region and the neighboring states. So that is mainly sand dunes and loess. Then the next one is laterites and lateritic soil. Here, see, in the Kerala region and all, we'll have laterites and lateritic soil. They are mainly reddish in color. Then the next one is black cotton soil, that is mainly present in the central India. These are good for growing cotton. That's why it's known as black cotton soil. And here it contains a clay mineral called montmorillonite, because of which it has high shrinking and swelling characteristic. They are basically clay minerals in them. Okay, that is montmorillonite. Then the next one is marine deposits. These are actually a thin belt formed in coastal areas like this. See, this is a belt formed in the coastal areas. Here, underlying soft clay layer, there is sand layers. That is how we find in the beaches, like a soft clay layer, and above that we will have sand layers. That is marine deposits. Then the boulder deposits. This is like in the Jammu and Kashmir region and all we find this. That is not a major soil deposit, so we'll ignore that. The first five one we will discuss now. Okay. Then the first one is alluvial deposits. They are mainly found in North India. We know that water is transporting, so it cannot transport heavy boulders and all very easily. So it transports sand, silt, and clay mainly. So this is the alternative layers of sand, silt, and clay in alluvial deposits. Because it's very fine particles, it will have low density, and because sand and silt are all are present here, they are subjected to liquefaction when vibration is given to it. That is, like, vibration means if it's an earthquake prone area and all, it's liable to liquefaction. Then the next one is black cotton soil. This is mainly found in central India. These are residual deposits. There are two types of soil, mainly because of residual deposits, residual or sedentary and transported. Soil are classified as two types: residual and or sedentary and transported. Because here residual and sedentary means that soil it will be present nearby its parent rock. Transported means it will be transported away from its parent rock. That is what it means by residual and sedentary. Okay. So black cotton soil is mainly a residual soil, means it is mainly present near its parent rock itself. So it is formed by basalt or trap rock. The parent rock is basalt or trap. Then black cotton soil is highly plastic and it have high shrinkage and swelling characteristic because of a clay mineral in it, which is known as montmorillonite. This is very important. It contains clay mineral montmorillonite, and its shear strength is very low and it's highly compressible. It cannot be used for engineering purpose, therefore. Then the next one is lateritic soil. Lateritic soil is mainly found in central, southern, and eastern India. These are also residual soil. These are formed from basalt, and because of the iron content or iron oxide present in it, this will have a red to pink color. Then these are very soft. This can be cut with chisels when they are wet. And the top portion, that is the portion nearby ground, is very hard. And that portion, they contain gravel-sized particles, and that portion is known as laterite. And as it approaches the parent rock, its plasticity reduces. Then the next one is desert soil. As the name suggests, the soil is present in deserts like Rajasthan and its adjoining states. It contains sand dunes. The specialty with the sand dunes is that it has thin sized particles, that is fine sand. Then the next one is marine deposits. These are like a thin belt in the coastal areas. They are found in the southwestern coast, and that is like a thick layer of sand above deep layers of soft marine clay. This is what occur in beaches and all. We find like this. Above the soft marine clay, there will be thick layers of sand. That is marine deposits. Then now we will discuss various terminology in the soil. There are different types of soils, for which there are different types of terms related to the soil. So we will discuss that. The first one is bentonite. They are highly plastic clay. They're formed by the decomposition of volcanic ash, and it contain clay mineral called montmorillonite. This is only we discussed this in case of black cotton soil. So because of this montmorillonite, we will have high swelling and shrinkage characteristic. I'm repeating this because this is an important part, because always in exams, objective type exams, this question is asked. So, which property, which because of which mineral there is high swelling and shrinkage characteristic? That is because of montmorillonite clay mineral. And see here in this picture we are showing bentonite. Here, see there is shrinkage in the soil here. So that is because of montmorillonite. That is bentonite. The next one is boulders. Boulders are rock fragments which are of 300 mm, larger than 300 mm in size. And cobbles are relatively smaller fragments of rock. They are of size 80 to 300 mm. The next one is fills. Fills means they are, as the name tells, it's the filling, that is the man-made deposits of soil. Then the humus. Humus is like the topsoil, which are formed by partly decomposed vegetable matter. They are dark brown in color. It's not suitable for engineering purpose. And loam. Loam is a mixture of sand, silt, and clay. It's used in agriculture. It's used in tilling operation and all. And the moram term, this type of soil we usually use in engineering purpose. These are powdered rock or shale and without boulders. That is moram. Then the next one is muck. Muck is black in color as the M. Check this M, okay? M stands for mixture. It's a mixture of many soils. That is, it's a mixture of fine soil and highly decomposed organic matter. M stands for mixture. A muck is a mixture of fine soil and highly decomposed organic matter. And it is black in color. And the next one is peat. Peat is fully decomposed, or majority of its portion is decomposed. That is highly decomposed organic soil. It contains vegetable matter, which is like in marshy, like what it contains too much of water in it. So there will be a fibrous nature in it. So organic soil having fibrous particles, it's highly compressible because it's fibrous, so it's highly compressible. Then the warped clay. Warped clay means this is an alternate layer of silt and clay. Here, see, this is warped clay. This is mainly present in as lacustrine deposits, as layers of silt and clay. So that is regarding the first chapter, introduction part of soil mechanics. See, the this is mainly from the portion which I take in geotechnical engineering is mainly from Aurora textbook. So this is really subjected to errors. And in the description box, you will get problems, questions related to this topic. Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe for more videos and share with your friends. Thank you.